Hello, Bitty Crow, back again with another pickups video. This I know is going to be one hell of a long pickup video. And this is also going to be the last one for 2014, so last pickup video for 2014. First things first, if you follow me on Facebook, you would actually know what all this stuff is already if you follow me on Facebook. But this I actually got, what wound up happening was I wound up getting a like a little Christmas bonus. And with that, I bought something I've been kind of wanting to get for a while, and that's this. This is the box for the Canon DM100, which is an external shotgun mic for my camcorder, which I'm actually using right now. So I actually can't show you that because I'm using it right now. But I will put up a picture of what that looks like attached to my camcorder. It's like I think I paid like around $150 for it. It uses a mini horseshoe that only works with certain types of Canon camcorders. So I got it. I kind of wanted to improve the audio. I was hearing some pops and stuff in my audio while I was editing some videos. And after I got this, I determined it actually wasn't the microphone of the camcorder. It was my video editing software. But I found out that if I converted the file to another file before I started editing, that went away. So I kind of got the camcorder, it does improve the audio a lot, but I actually didn't need it for the reason I thought I would need it. But I'm still glad I got it. I mean, it was a $150 mic, but it's something I've been wanting for quite some time, and I just didn't want to put the funds towards it. But seeing as how I got a little bonus for Christmas, I figured now's the perfect time. So I've already done this. I've already used this mic already on a couple of videos. You know, I can't even remember. One of the videos I made already used it. And I filmed, if you don't follow me on Facebook, you may not know this, but I already did film a whole bunch more Croooow plays. I still need to edit them, but I used this mic for them. Also, there'll be QQQAAA videos coming up, and the next like six of them I've already filmed, so they don't use the mic. So will be quite a while before I use that. Now I'm trying to think, what was the last video that I did where I used it? I actually had to go look because it was bothering me that I couldn't remember, and it was actually the December Loot Crate video where I used the mic, and I actually said in that video, hey, I'm using this brand new mic for the first time, and I remember that. And so if you don't watch those videos, you didn't know that I had a new mic either. But yeah, there's that. I wasn't even gonna mention this, but just this morning I upgraded my video editing software. I found out that I've been using Pinnacle Studio 17, and I found out that 18 has been available since October, so I just went ahead and upgraded to that. I know a lot of people don't like Pinnacle Studio, but I've been using Pinnacle Studio since about 2000, so I'm pretty aware of how that works. And I was actually just kind of reading a review on it this morning, and at least on 18, where it's not very kind to beginners. It's not intuitive. It's not for beginners, but it's what I've been using for a long time. And several years ago, I tried to switch to something else, and I just couldn't because I'm so ingrained into using Pinnacle Studio. Enough of that. Let's go off with a Christmas present. My wife actually got this for me for Christmas. Actually, she bought it for me a long time ago, and I said, you know what, hold off on it, give it to me at Christmas. And that is this. This is the Intellivision Flashback. As you may or may not know, I sold all my Intellivision hardware, so Intellivision hardware games, because I really didn't play it all that much. But then after I sold it all, I saw this, and I'm like, you know what, that's kind of more perfect for somebody like me. Somebody who, somebody who doesn't want to actually have all the games, but wants to be available to play, the availability to play that maybe once in a while. And this is perfect. It's got 60 games built in. Some of them aren't in there that I would like to have played. I would have liked Burger Time to be in here, but again, that's probably licensed out to something else. Some of the Dungeons and Dragons games are in here, but under different names, like Crown of Kings and Tower of Doom. Some of the really rare games are in here. 3 of the IntelliVoice games are in here. and a bunch of unreleased games are in here. I only played a handful of them, and I only played them last night. I'm actually filming this on the 27th. Yesterday was the 26th, and I was out all day, and I actually didn't get this till Christmas, so I got to play it a little bit last night. Emulation is good enough, okay, but the sound is awful on some of them. The controllers are actually really good. They feel way better than the Intellivision controllers I had. The side buttons were way more comfortable, and it did come with a bunch of overlays. I think it was like 45. Yeah, it says it includes. It says limited edition overlays inside. I don't know how many overlays. I guess I thought there were 45, but I don't know where I came up with that number. So yeah, that's Intellivision Flashback. Now, keeping in line with the same thing, you could actually copy and paste everything I just said about the Intellivision Flashback, except replace Intellivision with ColecoVision for this. My wife actually bought this for me for actually back when they were released, and I said again, just give it to me for Christmas. So again, here's the ColecoVision Flashback. Same story with the ColecoVision. It was a system I no longer just wanted to hold on to, and I wound up selling all the hardware and games. But again, if I get the urge to play something ColecoVision, I have this again. And again, it's the same emulation. For Intellivision, I don't know. I don't think sound emulation is as bad as it is in the ColecoVision Flashback, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I really noticed it on the ColecoVision Flashback. Now, what's interesting is that the controllers, when I first pulled them out, I'm like, wow, this is going to be way better than the original ColecoVision controller. But one controller I plugged in, and the left and right didn't quite. You really had to push it hard for it to register. And I was like, I don't know. And I plugged in the other controller, and it was up and down that was hard to use. But then I started playing games, and after a while, it seemed to be just fine. So I think it just needed to be worked into play, I guess, and it seemed just fine. Again, the buttons are a little bit easier. Certainly the D-pad or the control knob on the ColecoVision Flashback is a lot easier to use than the original one. It's not as stiff, but honestly, I think I prefer the stiffness of the original controller. The key button pads are really, really soft and easy to use. But yeah, I played a couple games on this, and let's see here. Again, 60 games I think are in here. Yeah, so 60 built-in games. It doesn't say, where is, yeah, Miss Space Fury's in here. I don't think that's in a, digital, it's from Digital Press, so I don't know what year that came out in. I did play a little bit of that just to see that. But some of the games, they were just very, very hard, like Dragonfire and Jumpman Jr. seemed to be out of control. But again, I'd never played those games before on a ColecoVision, so... wait, what was the first one I said? So I don't know what that was really like originally. Bump and Jump seemed fine to me. But, yeah, and just to see, I plugged in an Atari 2600 controller, and no, the pins didn't match up, and you can't control it with another controller. You have to use these controllers. And from what I've heard, with both the ColecoVision Flashback and the Intellivision Flashback, there was some kind of pin mix-up with the ports. They were supposed to be able to work with original ColecoVision and Intellivision controllers, but they don't due to this pin mix-up. But again, I don't have any of that original hardware anymore, so it doesn't really matter to me. But it would have been nice if I could use like another controller, like a Genesis controller or something like that with this. But I can't do that. But yeah, I actually like these boxes. I'll basically pull this out of the box when I want to play it and put it back when I'm done. And yeah, we got those two. Alright, just to move on to hardware really quick. I got the PlayStation camera. This was a Christmas present from my sister-in-law, who was wondering for the longest time what she could get me for Christmas. And I kept saying, I don't know, maybe just a movie or something. And we were at me and my wife were at Toys R Us at one point, and I saw they had the PlayStation camera, this, for $30, $29.99, when it's normally $59.99. But they didn't have any on the shelf. And when they didn't have any, my wife started calling around, you know, do you have it, do you have it, do you have it? And all the Toys R Us didn't have it. Turned out where my sister-in-law lives, which is 3 hours away, they had it. And she went and picked it up, and she said, hey, can this be his Christmas present? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So, so this wound up being a Christmas present. I don't know exactly what I'm going to use for it. I just kind of wanted it to mess around with. They have the playroom, which is footage of what you're seeing here. And it's just a goofy thing you could try. I know if I were to stream directly from the PS4, I could use that to show me, I guess, as it were. The video quality doesn't seem that great on it, but again, it may have been just because the room wasn't bright enough. But yeah, it was just something I wanted to mess around with. I don't know what games at all this is required or even enhances the game, but it was just something I wanted to complete it. I may never ever actually use it, but the playroom was kind of funny to mess around with. Again, it was just an oddity I wanted. Moving on, let's move on to some games here. And I have quite the stack of games. First up, Ultimate NES Remix. Now I know there was the NES Remix, 1 and 2 on with the Wii U, but when I found out this was going to be available on the DS, or the 3DS, I had to get it. And basically, if you don't know what the NES Remix collection is, it's basically where they take the old games and kind of have you do little goals, or kind of mix the games together to have you try to achieve something. Like you could have, like Mario running. It says you have to reach the end of the level, but you can't stop. He's always constantly running forward. And all you can really do is jump, and you have to try and make it to speed through it. And you get number of stars the faster you do it, or whatnot. And the reason this is Ultimate NES Remix is because it's packs 1 and 2 from the Wii U, except it's all mixed together into one game. So yeah, there's that. And it actually comes up with, you can actually play the original Mario Brothers. I think there's an option to play the original Mario Brothers in this, but completely sped up, although I haven't done that. I have played this a little bit. I actually bought this game the same day I bought Ultimate NES Remix, and that's this, the NES Remix Pack. And the reason this is the NES Remix Pack is because it has NES Remix 1 and 2, which were downloadable separately through the Wii U store, together in one game. And instead of combining it all together, you first come up to an option, a menu option, where you can select Pack 1 or Pack 2. And basically what I've been doing is playing through Pack 1, and I guess when I complete Pack 1 is when I'll move on to Pack 2. So yeah, it's the same deal. It's exactly the same thing, where looking at the pictures on the back here, you've got Kirby fighting the tree with Boo's. I remember that one. So in order to, you have to turn to face the tree to hurt him, but you have to turn away to face the Boo's to stop them from proceeding. So yeah, there's Samus in Super Mario Brothers, and Link. Oh, Link and Donkey Kong was hell. Oh my goodness. Because he couldn't break the barrels with his sword, and he can't jump, so you have to make it to the top of the first level of Donkey Kong with Link. So it's basically playing the game where you can't jump. Oh man, that was so hard. This also has the original Super Mario Brothers with Luigi and reverse. So this has got Super Mario Brothers in there as well, except you're playing as Luigi and you're running to the left instead of to the right. So I haven't really tried that. And then it says compete in Nintendo World Championships Remixed. So I don't really know what that is. But again, it was just something I had to have because of the retail copy. I think I had Pack 1 downloaded for free for some reason. I think it was like there was some option where you could choose one of these games to play for free, and I can't remember quite what it was. So I picked NES Remix Pack 1, and I'm like, oh, there's Pack 2 still. And then I found out this was going to be a retail copy. It's like, screw all that, I'm just going to buy a retail copy. The same time I bought NES Remix Pack 1 and the Ultimate NES Remix, this was at Toys R Us, I wound up buying this Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. This had just come out. I think these came out at the same day. Actually, all three of these came out the same day. But at Toys R Us, there was a deal where you bought one game, and one Wii U game, and you got another Wii U game for 40% off. So I bought this to give to my stepdad, to give to my wife, for Christmas, because this is what she wanted him to get him for Christmas. So I was like, hey, did you get that game? No, I'm going to buy it right now. I'm going to get 40% off for it. And you could give this to Vanessa for Christmas. So that's what we did. And I actually wound up playing this a little bit. Yes, we're all waiting for me to finish. And this is going to be a long one. So, if you played Super Mario 3D World, there were these little mini sub-worlds where you played as Toad and you kind of walked around to get the star or something. And that's basically what this game is. This is a more fully fleshed out version of that. And it's great. I don't know why when I looked it up, they said this was a platformer. This is definitely not a platformer. This is a puzzle game. Because especially not a platformer, since Toad can't jump in this game. The reason he can't jump, he's wearing a heavy backpack. So basically, you have to spin. It's like playing it in a diorama. And you have to spin the level around to find out where he can go, hit the triggers. And there was the third stage I played, you touched the level and it actually changed the heights of some things, so you had to work your way through the level like that. So the main goal is to reach the star that's in the level, but if you want to go for extra points and complete everything, you can find all the gems in the level, hit all the coins in the level, as it were. And I really like this. This is a fun game. I mean, if my wife didn't want this, I certainly would have bought it for myself. So, yeah, I highly recommend this. So let's move on. Alright, it was just yesterday. It was at GameStop. And why was I at GameStop? I'll tell you about why I was at GameStop later in the video. But they had this, and I had to get it. This is Kingdom Hearts Remix. Actually, Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. Which is actually something I wanted to get from Target a long time ago. Because I kind of missed out on the limited edition version of this. So this was kind of not something I could have picked up a long time ago, but I had to pick it up recently, and you'll find out why when I show the next game. But I kind of wanted to get this remix of Kingdom Hearts. I played the first game before the first Kingdom Hearts was the only game in the series I'd ever played. I got it for PS2. I did actually, I take it back. I did play Kingdom Hearts 2, but only for like a short amount of time, and never really got through the intro to the game, as it were, because that went on forever. But when I saw this, I had to get it at GameStop. It was $20 new. I could have gotten it like on Amazon or something for like the same price, brand new. Because, well, this is new, but it was like one of those deals where it was they already hit the disc out of there, and I was expecting that because even though this is new, this game had been out for a while, and I bet you their employees probably played this already. But it had everything, and the disc looked in good shape. But I didn't want to buy it online, actually wrapped, because there's a greatest hits version of this, and I didn't want the greatest hits version. And there's no reason for me to actually not want the greatest hits version, other than I didn't want the red case, and I didn't want to say greatest hits. I'm weird like that, okay? But yeah, this has got 3 games in it. It's got Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, which is the main game here. And then we got Kingdom Hearts RE Regarding Chain of Memory, which is the card-based battle game that was, I believe, on the Game Boy Advance, and I'd never played that. My wife has it, but I never played it. And Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, which I have no idea what that's about. But I don't even remember what system was that. I don't know if that was on Game Boy Advance or Nintendo DS. I don't think it was on 3DS. You know, it might have been on DS. I don't know. I don't remember. But the nice thing is now you got it all remastered on the PS3, so you can just sit and play all these games on the big screen. And yeah, Kingdom Hearts basically is Square characters mixed in with Disney characters, and it makes for a fun game, even if it does take itself a little bit too seriously, I think. But it's a fun game, so I might actually be replaying my way through these 3 games. And onward to this next one. What day was it? I think it was like the Saturday before Christmas, and my wife was looking for Amiibos. I'll get to why when I get later on in the video. But they had Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix limited edition. They had about 4 of these, and it was $40. And she goes, yeah, I'm going to get it. I'm going to buy this. Now, what was funny was she wasn't really interested in 1.5 Remix because she had played all those games already. I didn't play the other two. I played the first Kingdom Hearts. But my wife never played. What this has in it is Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, and Kingdom Hearts Recoded. Now, what I believe, what I've heard, is that Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts Recoded were never released in the U.S. I don't know exactly how true that is, but that was the reason she wanted this. It had 2 games in there she had never played and didn't have. So she had played Kingdom Hearts 2, which I haven't done. I'm going to have to do that too. But the other 2 games she'd never played. And then we got the limited edition, which has this metal enamel in there. So it's like some kind of, I don't know what you're supposed to attach this to or whatnot, but there's like a little thing that's in there. So yeah, I never took it out. It looks like it's still shrink wrapped, but I basically just cut along the edge a little bit so I could take the game out and play it. I'll leave the wrapper on there until my wife actually, I mean, she said it was okay for me to play it, but I just didn't want to peel the wrapper off. I was kind of wanted to leave the wrapper on. Call me weird like that. But again, I did wind up, for footage, I wound up playing a little bit of Kingdom Hearts 2. Wound up playing about an hour and a half of that, and I still got some time to go before you actually get to playing as Sora. Sora, the main character of the game. You wind up playing as somebody else whose name eludes me at the moment for the first couple hours of the game. And actually, the first time I played the game on the PS2, I got right up to the point to where it changes over to Sora, and I stopped playing. Because I felt it was like way too long of it. I don't know why, but I just did, and I never went back to it. But again, if I could get through, if I play through Kingdom Hearts 1.5 again, I might just jump right into this. So yeah, again, it's the same thing. Square characters mixed with Disney characters. I really didn't think there would be a Kingdom Hearts 2 after the first one. I thought that was like going to be a one-off deal. And now look at how many games there are. So with these two together, 1.5 and 2.5, there's 6 games all together in that. So that's not too bad, I think, for $60. But again, Toys R Us. That same night at Toys R Us, they had this game for $9.99, and I didn't have it, so I bought it. This is Infamous on the PS3. This is the Greatest Hits Edition. I didn't really care so much that it was the Greatest Hits Edition because it was $9.99, but I never played this game, and I've heard a lot about it other than what kind of game it was. And it's basically, you play kind of like a pseudo superhero, as it were, with electric powers. And that's basically what you do. You run through the game and you zap people. Like, I guess it's almost like a third-person shooter, but you're zapping them with that, and then you have to absorb power and you gain more and more abilities as the game goes on. I think I played it for about an hour. And yeah, and then there's the moral choices in the game where you can make, I guess you could hurt people and it makes you more evil, or if you save them it makes you more good. So yeah, that's Infamous. Pick that up. Also picked that up because Toys R Us also had this for $9.99. That's Infamous 2. So I wound up, hey, if I'm going to get Infamous 1, I might as well get Infamous 2. Also $9.99, and this is not the Greatest Hits Edition. So again, the same deal. Kind of spoiled a little bit of Infamous 1 by starting this game up because it kind of recapped stuff that happened in that game. But again, it just like Uncharted and Uncharted 2, there's a huge upgrade in quality between Infamous and Infamous 2. So I'm going to have to play this one and then Infamous 2, and then try and keep track of what other Infamous games are out there. I know there's one on the PS4, Sons of Liberty or something. I don't know if that's the third game or not. I'm going to have to actually look that up. And it's not even an issue for me until I finish 1 and 2, so by the time I do that, who knows, probably be a couple of years from now, and that game will be $10 as well. Alright, we got a bunch of pickups from GameStop. I wonder how I wound up at GameStop the one day. I don't remember. I don't remember what I was there for. This was the GameStop in Fox Valley Mall. I don't know why I couldn't think of it for a moment. and they had all their used games that were $20 or less were an additional like 15, 20. I can't remember how much more it was off, but they were cheaper. So we'll start out with this one I grabbed. This is High Velocity Bowling, and you can tell it's a quality game because the price, the used price was $3.99, and I think after the sale it wound up being like $2.50. But this uses well, it says PlayStation Move compatible, which means it's not required. And I was like, oh, I could use the controller. And it kind of had me fooled because I thought it was one of those games you could just hit the buttons. No, they want you to hold the controller in your hand and use the motion sensing in the controller to roll the ball. So, kind of had me fooled there. I haven't yet to try this with the Move. But I just for $2.50 to have a bowling game on the PS3 that wasn't crap. Because when the Move first came out, the first game we got was Brunswick Championship Bowling. And that game was horrible. I played it for like 15, 30 minutes, and I'm like, this is going away. I don't want this no more. This is a little bit more upbeat, lighthearted, a little bit more like Wii Bowling, but you have a variety of lanes, a variety of characters. So, yeah, this is worth having, I think, just as a lark. Moving on. We got, they had this for $19.99. Then on sale, I can't remember, what was it, like either $17 or $16, something like that. Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate. So now I have Dead or Alive 5 and Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate. Picked up Dead or Alive 5 a couple months ago at Target. It was like $9 new. But now I'm going to take that and get rid of it and keep this one. It's basically the same game except there's more characters in it. I don't know if there was any other improvements other than that. So, and even when I started playing it, it picked up my save file from the original game. I was like, hey, you can continue the story mode from your other game here. And again, it was like exactly the same story mode. I think there might just be a little bit more interspliced into it with the new characters they added in here. But come on, really? They're taking the story mode of this game way too seriously for a fighting game. It's a fighting game. All it's gotta be is one character saying, hey, I don't like you. I'm gonna fight you. And the other guy be like, yeah, well, bring it on. And then the two characters fight. But it's getting way too in-depth for what it is. Fighting games don't need storylines. Like, it's okay to have a little bit of background on the characters or whatnot. But you don't need, like, 10 minutes of cutscenes to get to a fight. That's kind of... But I think you could cut all the cutscenes. It's just funny just to watch them go through. Yeah, I had to get that. It's, again, Dead or Alive. And I like the Dead or Alive series. I've been playing it since Dead or Alive 2 on the PS2. It was one of the launch games I picked up when I got the PS2. Dead or Alive 1 I've actually played, but man, that is so far off from what the game has become now. But yeah, it's a good game, I think, Dead or Alive 5. It certainly is different from like Tekken or Street Fighter or anything like that. It does a good job of being different. It's not like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken. It's not like any of that. It's got its own system and it works out good. Next game, this was another one from GameStop where it was a certain amount off. Again, this was $17.99. We're looking at The Puppeteer, and this is a game that I actually wanted to get for quite some time. I saw a video on this, not like a YouTube video or anything like that. I saw a trailer for this, and the game looked awesome. I mean, the production of the game looks awesome. And I played it, and I am surprised that not more people talking about this game, because it really is amazing. It kind of has like a Little Big Planet kind of feel to it. You play a character, your kid who's been turned into a puppet, and you've lost your head, so he uses other things as heads, and depending on what head you're using, you know, you could do certain special actions and interact with the environment or whatnot with certain heads. And then early on in the game, you get a giant pair of scissors, and that becomes your main weapon throughout the game. And you can cut cloth, and that's how you, like, a lot of the, it seems like a lot of the villains are made so they could be damaged with scissors. Like, they're made out of cloth, or they have little sticks or whatever that you cut off and stuff. But what really blows me away is, like, how this is set up like a theater. And you could and then, like, every time you move to a next level, you could see like all the set pieces being put away and the new set pieces being put out in a very quick order, and I think that is amazing. And I'm going to have to play this game a lot more in the future because it's just awesome. And I really, if you have not heard of this game, and you can find it for cheaper, it's really worth $20. It really is, and I got it for cheaper than that, and you could probably find it for cheaper than that. But if you have a PS3, I really highly recommend this game. It's very unique, as it were. And I think it'll be a cult classic in the future. Alright, a bit earlier I showed you Kingdom Hearts 1.5, and I got that at GameStop yesterday. Well, that wasn't the only thing I got at GameStop yesterday. It turns out they had a buy two get one game sale and at GameStop, and I didn't even know about it and until we were there. And I started looking around. I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll pick up 3 games. And what's really funny is that after I got home, LG's Jesus Rocks tweeted that, oh, he wanted to go to the GameStop for the buy two get one sale, but they were really crowded, and he wound up not getting anything. But yeah, they were really crowded. But I really wasn't in a hurry for anything. These are the 3 games I got for that deal. Picked up Little Big Planet 2. This was $17.99. This was not the game I got for free. Actually, the next game I'll show you is the one I got for free because they go with whatever game was the lowest price. But this game and the other game were priced the same. But Little Big Planet 2, I kind of was surprised I didn't have this. I did like Little Big Planet, and I kind of wanted to play Little Big Planet 2, so I figured this was a good one to pick up. Yeah, pretty much exactly the same as Little Big Planet 1 as far as me playing it. I only played a couple of the levels, but you can see some improvements here and there. Apparently the big improvement is you being able to create your create games, as it were. And being able to create a wider diversity of games, or create your own levels and have more control over them. And that's not something I really did in the first game, and I don't expect me to do that here either. But you could go online and download tons and tons of levels as well. So there's where the appeal of that comes in. Other than that, once I started playing it, I haven't played Little Big Planet in years, but it's a very intuitive game. I think you could play with, yeah, you could play with 4 people at once. Though I've only played with 2 people at once at most, and that was the last game, Little Big Planet 1. But he's got a little swinging grappling arm too that he picks up in the game. I don't know if that was in the last game or not, but again, very high quality production game, and I really think that this does belong in everybody's PS3 collection. And that's Little Big Planet 2. This was the game I picked up for free. This was also $17.99. And when my wife saw this game, she was like, I was going to get it already, but when my wife saw it, she's like, you're going to get that, you're going to get that, you're going to get that. That's BioShock Infinite. And the reason she said I was going to get it is because I didn't have it, and she already had BioShock 1 and BioShock 2. She played 1, I never played any of them. Believe it or not, I have not played a BioShock game. So before I actually go, I captured footage for this, but before I actually go back and play this more, I've actually got to play BioShock 1 and 2. It's not like I've been I guess maybe I have been avoiding playing them, I don't know. But again, I got lots of other games to play, but I guess once the moment turns right, I'll start playing those games. I don't know. I don't even know how long it takes to play through them. I went up playing like Grand Theft Auto 4 and just watching, parking cars on the railroad tracks and watch them explode, and that entertains me. And I'll do that for hours. instead of playing BioShock games for whatever reason. Anyway, yeah, so we have BioShock 1 and BioShock 2. I figured, hey, BioShock Infinite. This was the one we got for free, because the next one is the one I got that would cost the most. And this was the same price as Little Big Planet 2. I was actually kind of surprised this was so cheap. But again, instead of under the sea, this takes place high up in the air with a Americana old-time feel to it. And I guess not only can you shoot people with guns, but you could shoot them with these powers in your hand. I love how it gives you that old-timey feel for it. Instead of magic, it's called vigor. And it says it's motion move compatible, and I don't know who in their right mind is using move to play a game like this. But then you've got the grappling hook mechanic and all that. So yeah, a lot of people already played this game when it came out. I haven't. And that's that. I want to play this game. Will I soon? Probably not. Got lots of other stuff to play, as you can see. But I do want to play this. Maybe one day I'll just sit down and be like, I want to start playing BioShock, and I'll just play through all 3 games. Alright, this is the last game in the pile. And this was the last game I bought. Actually, this was the first game I picked up at GameStop yesterday. And I was like, now I gotta find 2 other games. That's Trials Fusion. And this was used $24.99. I don't have a GameStop membership card. So I don't get them for the members, because I don't buy that many used games from GameStop. Although, with what I've done recently, maybe I should reconsider. But, yeah, this was a game I've wanted since I got the PS4. I just felt like that $40 for this game brand new was way too much. Mark from Classic Game Room is a video I saw about this game. I'm like, that looks awesome. And I just assumed with the way the game looked that it was a download title only. But when I found out there was retail on this too, I was like, I gotta get that game eventually. And I was always keeping my eye out for it. Maybe do some deal where it was like buy one, get one 40% off or at Toys R Us or something like that. But they never had the games that I wanted together. Or I'd always wind up getting something else instead. And basically, this game reminds me of Excite Bike. It really does. It's all trial and error, as it were, but I love the visuals in the game. There's checkpoints in the game, but I don't quite see the point of that. If I'm going to screw up during the run, I'd rather go back and rerun the whole run rather than go back to the last checkpoint. So yeah, and you're just basically, you could do flips. I don't know if that helps or anything. I'm sure I'm missing something in the game. I think you could do, like, I don't know, other stuff in the game other than just ride, like, you know, pose. I think you could pose in air, but I thought I knew how to do that, but it didn't quite work when I tried to do it. Yeah, I just like, if I screw up, I like going back all the way to the beginning and trying to run again. It's very fun. Even when you screw up, you're like, ah, that's funny. And it's like the perfect game where if you want to play a game, but you don't know how much time you have to play a game, because you just boot it up and you start playing, and you just almost stop at any time. Because the levels aren't that long, but when you want to do a run, and you keep failing and failing, you're just restarting it again and again and again. And I could really see myself getting into this. 500. It was a 5 gig minimum install, which is crazy for this, I think. But again, this is another game where it was where you could make your own custom design levels and download other people's levels that play. That's all the games, but I do have some more game-related stuff. So, let's talk about Amiibos. Nintendo sure made it hard for people to collect them all, didn't they? Now, we had all of Wave 1 reserved at Toys R Us. And so when Wave 1 was released, we did get them all. And then everybody found out, wait a minute, Nintendo didn't make a lot of Villager, they didn't make a lot of Marth, they didn't make a lot of Wii Fit Trainer. And their reason for that, well, those aren't popular characters, so we didn't make as many. Anyway, the same thing and headaches are going on with the Wave 2. Supposedly all the Wave 2 characters are out. So we got, these are the ones my wife got and pre-ordered. We got Diddy Kong, okay. We got Zelda. And we got Luigi. Now all these were ordered from, I think they were pre-ordered from Toys R Us, all of these. But once the Wave 1 we start hearing, oh, well, villagers starting to like not dry up, you know, not be found and everything. We started pre-ordering all the ones we could from online. So from Best Buy, I had the other ones from Wave 2 pre-ordered. That's Little Mac, Pit, and Captain Falcon. Now we do have all the other Wave 3 Amiibos pre-ordered from various places. Even the exclusive ones, except for Rosalina, because that went for pre-order apparently on Target so quickly and disappeared we didn't even know. So we got them all except for Rosalina. But then it could just do what my friend is doing, and he's actually importing the Amiibos from other places. Because it's basically, the Amiibos are region free. The only difference is the packaging, where some of the characters might have alternate names in other regions. Otherwise, once you get them out of the package, they're all exactly the same. But I had the other 3 pre-ordered. Now, Pit and Captain Falcon I had pre-ordered from Best Buy, and those are still pending. So they're out, but my orders are still pending. Now, I had Little Mac also pre-ordered from Best Buy, but just out of nowhere. This was like maybe on the, I don't remember how many days after it was that they released. Later that week, you know, the Amiibos were released. And later that week, I got an email from Best Buy just saying my order was canceled. What? My Little Mac was canceled? Where the hell am I supposed to get it now? So my wife got kind of, you know, went and kind of insane, and she was looking all over for like Little Mac, because that was the only one that was pre-ordered that now is canceled. We can't find. So she had a present for me that was a mystery. Actually, she wouldn't even say it was from her, and the box was written differently, had different wrapping paper on it, and it was from, it was labeled from Santa, and it was like Christmas morning, and we didn't open up our presents till Christmas night. It was Christmas morning, and she was like, "Who's this from? Whose present is this from?" I'm like, "That's gotta be from you." But she went on and on, like, "Who's that present from?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't leave that. Look, it's different. It's got different writing." But I opened it up on Christmas evening, and it was Little Mac. She wound up getting it off of somebody from Craigslist, and she said she didn't pay too much more than what it normally goes for. She said she paid like $19 for this, so it pretty much covers the cost of it and the price of shipping that the guy she bought it from. Because the guy she bought it from off of Craigslist said that he bought one, but then his wife actually got one too. And so they had one extra, so he was just trying to sell it for, you know, what he got for it. So he got probably that and shipping and maybe a buck or two extra, which I'm totally fine with. It's the people that are trying to sell this for like $60, $80 on eBay that can pretty much go to hell. So, while we're talking about figures, let's talk about Skylanders. And I don't normally talk about the Skylanders I pick up, but in this case, I kind of have to, because, okay, remember earlier in the video, I said that we went to, actually this kind of ties in with the Amiibos too. I went to Toys R Us. We went to Toys R Us like that Saturday, earlier that day, Saturday, Toys R Us, which is like the busiest shopping day of the year. And we found out that they were expecting shipments, or they had shipments, and then they just haven't put out everything on the shelf. So my wife was like, well, they might have Amiibos in their shipment, so we'll check later. So we went right before they closed, which was actually 1:30 in the morning. They closed at 2 a.m. that day. And we looked, and that's when we bought some of those other games I showed. And they didn't have any of that stuff out. And they were going to open again at like 7 in the morning. So, but my wife had to work. She worked at like 8, and there was no way she was going to be able to go. So I was like, okay, well, I'll wake up and I'll go to Toys R Us at 7 in the morning to see if they have any out. And I did, and they didn't have any extra Amiibos. I asked about it. They actually didn't have anything else other that we didn't see. But while I was out, I did see this for Skylanders, and what I saw were these guys, and they were in their own separate kits. And basically, what had happened in Skylanders was when I was playing Trap Team, there were a whole bunch of areas I couldn't get to, and a whole lot, not a whole lot, but there were some areas I couldn't get to, and some villains that I couldn't capture because they were of an unknown element. Now, I didn't look it up. I was going to be surprised. I was like, for the longest time, I was like, well, what is this unknown element? I was just thinking that, well, they were going to be elements that already existed. And my wife thought something else, and I can't quite remember what she was thinking. But it turned out we were both wrong, because I looked it up, and it turned out that they added 2 more elements to Skylanders, the light element and the dark element. And these are the light and dark Trap Masters. And they were only available in these packs. So in each pack were the Trap Master Skylander, a light trap, and, well, a trap of that element, light or dark trap, and then a figure that actually accesses another level. So this is the, I can't remember what this is, the light, this is the dark one was the Midnight Museum, and then this is the dark trap. I already opened this all and I played it, because as soon as I put this on the figure, all that stuff, it was all of a sudden now not keeping it a secret from me, and it was telling me what it was. So you have to play these levels, and actually some of the other villains of other elements are actually in these levels too. I bought each of these packs for like $31 each, but I was like, I have to buy it. And it turned out that they sold out of these packs later in the day. Now, I've seen them at Best Buy recently, but I think they sold out really quickly just so they could be Christmas presents. But I couldn't wait, and I was like, I gotta have these, because now I can actually play the game and finish everything. Well, except for something, which I'll bring to you next, mention next. But I was just so kind of surprised how they managed to keep it a secret and then release these characters later, only to find out that, oh, they made 2 new elements for Trap Team. But yeah, so we had the dark pack and the light pack. Once I filmed that footage that you're seeing here, I opened them up and started playing with them. But that wasn't all. I did actually get another Skylander. This is Mastermind. I wanted to bind this at the same time because now there were new characters available. And for whatever reason, I had not seen a Magic Trap Master, which meant there were tons of magic doors that I couldn't go in. So now that I have him, this Megamind guy, and the Light in the Dark, I started playing through the game again, because now I could actually access all the areas and actually capture all the villains. And some of them I actually didn't see, so I have to find out where some of those are. So they really get you to replay the game. It's like by releasing these characters later. But again, the magic element was the only one they didn't have out to begin with. So still the other magic guy I haven't seen. And there were a couple other characters that I haven't seen. The Shortcut, I think, is the only other one. Because some of the other characters I did see recently. And I was actually at Toys R Us yesterday. And the Skylanders were buy one, get one 40% off. So I also bought this Tough Luck and what's his name? Kaboom. Just, again, I think I'm going to collect all the Trap Masters now that I have the Light and the Dark ones. I just haven't had. I bought them yesterday. I just haven't opened them up yet. So yeah, still playing Skylanders. Yeah, playing Skylanders instead of BioShock. Wow, we're almost done here. Got a couple of DVDs and Blu-rays, so I'll just go through those really quick. Firstly, Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a no-brainer. I had to buy this. This is my favorite movie of 2014. It was at Walmart. And they have the slipcover cases with other characters on them. So I had to get the one with Rocket Raccoon. Next up we got Terminator 3. Now I had Terminator 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. So I had to pick up Terminator 3. I've only seen this once. I've seen it in theaters when it was originally out. I haven't seen it before or again. I can't remember if this was $7.50 or $10. I just remember I bought it at Target. So Terminator 3. And then I know I got this for $10 at Target. The Amazing Spider-Man. Didn't quite like this movie so much, but I had the Amazing Spider-Man 2 from Black Friday, so I figured I had to get Amazing Spider-Man as well, because it's kind of goofy to have the sequel without having the original movie. And then finally, DVD, The Simpsons 17th season. I've just been collecting The Simpsons on DVD. So yeah, that is that. And that is everything. I told you guys this was going to be a long one, so I won't belabor anything any longer. Thanks everyone for watching, and see you all next time. Bye.